Welcome to another episode of Villa Springfield, a conversation with Villa Springfield. I'm with Dean Blair, the Director of the Clark County Fairgrounds. Is that the title?
You are right.
Yay! We've got exciting news. I'm going to let Dean tell you about the fair for 2021.
Well, Michelle, we're just delighted to have you here, and I'm delighted to tell you that even though Ohio State Fair canceled, we are very much planning a full fair. And we've got a very special fair planned for Clark County. I think everybody's going to be so happy that it's a full fair. And the animal projects, it looks like all the numbers are about normal and the kids are excited.
Oh, that's great.
And so we expect a really nice turnout for the fair. It's July 23 through 30 is when the fair is. So we hope you come out and join us.
Absolutely. We will be here hopefully every day because there's enough food trucks. I need to space them out.
About 63 roughly.
That's great. That's great. And I know the whole community is so excited about having the full fair. Everybody's ready to get out, see people, be with people, and try to get some kind of normal back in their lives.
Absolutely. And of course, as you know, I don't have to tell you, thank you, Villa Springfield, for what you're doing. You're a huge part of helping us make this fair really special this year. You'll be sponsoring Thursday, July 29. You'll be the featured sponsor of the day. And there's some really special things happening, in part because of you guys on that day. All the little kids love Anna and Elsa from the movie Frozen. Right. And so Elsa wasn't able to come that day, but Anna's coming, and she's bringing a special guest with her. Woody Cowboy from Toy Story is coming also. And so Anna and Woody will spend about 4 hours that day cruising around the Midway and meeting all the adults and the kids that want to see them. And that's sponsored by Villa Springfield and happening in conjunction with Villa Springfield. We just can't thank you enough for that.
Well, it's our pleasure. We're excited about sponsoring the whole event, and we've got a couple of things planned too for the kids that come, and we'll take some pictures and do some fun stuff with them too.
Outstanding.
So we're just happy for the opportunity, and anything we do to help Clark County Fair and the community, Villa's all in.
Well, you also are bringing a stilt walker that day and a juggler. So it's going to be quite an entourage running around with Anna and Woody that day. And thank you so much for doing it.
Absolutely. We're excited to do it, and I'm excited to be out here for it. And we'll have a booth out here also.
Excellent.
So if anybody needs information or wants to talk, we'll have people around to do that too.
Outstanding.
So the fair is kind of getting back, the fairgrounds, getting back to normal.
It is.
We're having events. I know the antique flea market was last weekend. Huge
it was
success.
And honestly, our events never completely stopped except for about a 90-day period there.
That's
when
great.
COVID first hit.
Right.
But through working with the health department, and they've been such wonderful partners, and they've helped us do the proper protocols, and our events many times were more socially distanced, or they were smaller events, but we continued to do things. And so now we're back and looking forward to June 2nd here, the full swing. But we had an extravaganza that was pretty much a record crowd in May here. We're getting ready for a Cars and Parts Now. Where we sit right here this past Saturday, we had our wine festival. We moved it outdoors this year because of COVID, so it could be socially distanced out here on the edges of the lake. We had about 1,000 people for that. And also there was a big gun show this past weekend. So we are just constantly busy. There's pretty much something or multiple things every weekend out here.
Right. And all family oriented for the most part.
Oh gosh, yes, absolutely.
You can bring your whole family and enjoy the day. And let's talk about the lake behind us. It's beautiful.
Well, thank you.
It was not used before much until you came along. So let's tell them about the lake and different items that are happening there.
Well, we're sitting on 180 acres adjacent to the fairgrounds, which is 126 acres. So combined, we're over 300 acres, which makes us as big as the state fairgrounds.
Absolutely.
We've got 115 acres of water. And so when we started boat racing in 2016, we never dreamed that we would start at the top. But if you watch NASCAR and kind of follow that, it's a lot like that we started at the top with like a NASCAR equivalent type race. It's a national points race, and so it's a championship. This year, we will have Wake the Lake number 5, and it will be combined with the OPC Nationals. So it'll be 2 national events on the same weekend.
Wow.
And that adds an additional race to the big Wake the Lake race. And so it should be quite a deal. That's in August.
And that's people from everywhere.
That's people from all over the United States, and if Canada is allowed to come out by then, Canadian will be here too. They always have a strong presence at that if they're able to.
And it's nationally televised, some of it, right?
Usually CBS Sports is with us. They were not with us last year, and I don't think CBS will be here this year.
Due to COVID.
Yes. But it's going to be a big deal, and it will be, of course, a special tribute to our friend that we lost last year.
Right.
We had a fatality accident out here where a boat crashed with two other boats, and that was certainly a tragedy.
Right.
But there'll be a tribute to Tracy on that also. And then we've got other races coming in July, a week before the fair. They last count, they have 470 boats coming for what is the North American Championship. These boats are the size of snowmobiles, and they call them knee boards because, as the name implies, there's no seat.
Oh.
They drive them on their knees and they lean.
Oh, wow.
And it's really a maneuver from 50 to 100 miles an hour that's very challenging and takes a lot of gonads to do.
I guess. I wouldn't. I'd watch.
And then we got yet another big event coming back for its either fourth or fifth year, and that is the World Championship of Solar Boat Racing. And that will be in June. That's from the 8th to the 12th. There's about 17 universities typically that show up from all over the United States. If it wasn't for COVID, Poland was supposed to be here. They won't be coming this year. Puerto Rico is looking like they're going to be able to come.
Good.
And so they have a strong presence here. And our own Cedarville University here in Ohio is the defending world champion of solar boat racing. It really is.
And that's something I don't think the community is aware of. One, that they are the champions, or two, that it even happens out here. And all these college kids comes and their families come, and you were talking about some area businesses come with engineers and things, because you got the top kids out here.
To bring 300 of the smartest North America engineering students that are juniors and seniors in college excites a lot of companies that need engineers.
Sure.
And so to interact with these kids from all over North America is a pretty cool thing. It's a very fun thing to watch them work and interact. And many of the companies do send some engineering judges and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Silfax, for example, sent over an engineer of theirs, and I'm sure they will again this year, just to name one of several that do that.
That's fantastic, and I appreciate you going above and beyond just the fair. People think of the fairgrounds, they think, oh, the fair or fireworks. Do we know anything about fireworks this year yet?
The fireworks are not going to be here anymore. I'm glad you brought that up. They're going to be a little closer to you guys, because from now on, the fireworks will be put on, of course, that's put on by National Trails Park System.
Yes.
And so they're going to be down at Ferncliff Cemetery.
Oh, they are.
And so they're going to be much more central to town, with the idea being that they'll be able to be seen by more of the community.
Right.
We will miss them out here, but we totally understand, and we totally support the decision to move them over there and respect that entirely. But that's where they'll be from now on.
Oh, that's great. And they are going to have them this year.
Yes, they are. Absolutely.
That's great. That's one. Fireworks are one of my favorites.
Amen. Absolutely.
So back to the fair. You'll still have the buildings open.
Yes.
The Mercantile Building and the other buildings. The 4-H kids will have their stuff in there, and then you'll have booths from all different companies, from water softeners to Villa Springfield.
Actually, the Mercantile Building and the Annex and the Arts and Crafts are going through a bit of a transformation.
Oh.
Due to the fact that we lost the use of the banquet center down at the Champion Center. They put a retail store down there. We are redoing the way our displays work, and so this year's kind of an experimental year. Now, we already knew that Elderly United and United Senior Services certainly want to continue the Golden Wedding, as do we.
Yeah, because we've always helped with that also.
Amen. This year it's going to be a little bit of a hybrid type version of that because of COVID. The folks that want to come will come in right here where we're sitting. Okay. And they'll meet Elderly United or United Senior Services and Kiwanis, and they'll pick up a goodie bag, and then they'll take off unless they want to go on over to the fair. There won't be a formal program this year.
Okay.
Now, next year we'll go back to a formal program, although it may be more of an open house type thing to where we can fit the big crowd in at different times a little bit, because it'll be done up in the Arts and Crafts Building.
Okay.
As will a lot of the other 13 programs that we typically used to do in the Banquet Center. And so some of that display that was in the arts and crafts will remain there, but a lot of that will move into the annex.
Okay.
And to make that possible, the Heritage Museum display from our own Heritage Museum has moved from the annex into the mercantile, which thrills the business booths like yourself, because
Absolutely.
guess
Draw
what happens?
people in.
More people.
That's
and so
right.
there's going to be, and
That's
the
what we
air
want.
conditioning's
Traffic,
better in
traffic,
there.
traffic.
Amen. Absolutely. So
That's
it should
great.
really work good. It should flow good. It causes all those buildings to be full. Also,
Yeah.
we moved a little bit of that display that was in arts and crafts, like produce,
Right.
over to the youth building, so all of a sudden it's full.
That makes sense.
So now all the buildings are going to be full, just full to the brim.
Good, good. And the Golden Wedding Anniversary, I think, what do we usually have?
Oh, 700
700 people easy.
Yes, and we can't quite get 700 in the arts and
No,
crafts, so
no.
that's part of the reason, working with Maureen and working
Yes.
with the Kiwanis. We're probably going to do that in more of an open house where they'll come in different stages
that'll be
and
nice.
times, and,
Sure.
and should really eliminate some parking problems.
Yeah.
And flow of traffic should be better, and it should just be a better experience for everybody, we hope.
Oh, that'll be great. Well, I'm sure I'll be out here. Villa Springfield always helps out, too, with that. One of our pet projects we enjoy doing for the seniors and the Golden Wedding Anniversary, which is being married 50 years or more.
Oh, yes.
I mean, that's
absolutely.
amazing.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
I got to tell you about one other thing
Oh,
that's
yeah,
really
do.
special before we get out of here.
Sure.
I personally have been waiting for 5 years. We've been on a waiting list to get the sea lions here as part of our attraction for the fair. You don't see the sea lions unless you go to the state fair in Wisconsin or Ohio. They always have them sewed up. The sea lions usually don't make the cut to come to a county fair. 5 years we've been waiting. They're coming, and the reason I love them so much, they are a show even when they're not doing a show.
That's right.
As
You
you
can
might
watch
imagine,
them.
there's a big swimming pool, and they're just playing and having
Yes.
a great time the whole time. So you'll have to be
Oh.
sure and see that too while you're out
Absolutely. That's exciting. The kids will love that, too.
here. Amen.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be full and busy the whole time.
I think so, Michelle.
Yes, well, thank you,
Well,
Villa
again,
Springfield.
thanks to Villa Springfield and what you're doing. That's
Yeah.
just huge what you're doing.
Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate you giving us the opportunity. And the Fairgrounds looks great. If you haven't been out here, you need to come. It's beautiful. The lake is beautiful. Everything's getting ready. We passed tons of equipment, getting stuff spruced up for the fair and for the rest of the events. And Dean, I can't thank you enough. And I want to come back out before the Wake on the Lake and talk about it a little more.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michelle. Anytime. We're glad to have you.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of A Conversation with Villa Springfield.